YouTube was good. It's your boy Desi Lux. Put your bitch in the Cobra Clutch. You feel me? Back at it with another video. This is a Tozy video, and it's an update of the Jolly Somali situation. Now it's saying he's facing 36 years in North Korea. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Even before I started making content, I seen Jolly Somali and I seen what he was doing, and I seen how it progressively got worse. Now I can make videos reacting to it. So shout out to my dog Tozy. Please go follow him. I'm saying a Tozy. Go follow him, man. He makes great content, great updates, things that are just going on the internet, man. But let's get into it.
This IRL streamer is now facing 36 years in Korean prison after spending the last 2 years of his life harassing and humiliating random people on the streets of Japan, Israel, and South Korea for his own content. Spending 3 months in jail in Japan, apologizing and saying, hey, he's never going to do this again, and then goes on to continue like nothing ever happened at all. And we've been covering his antics for a while, and it's already been a couple months
you got this little vibrator in your face, boy.
And it's safe to say
that little vibrator mic is crazy, but you actually going to his trial was one of the most W moves I've seen in a long fucking time. My man went to his trial, got to go to North Korea, got to go enjoy a trip, got to go see this man get fucking slammed in a courtroom. Not literally, but like just slammed by the judges, by the prosecution, like literally nothing. And then you get to enjoy the sights of Korea, and you get to do it for free while making money because he gets to write everything off. That was fucking a W move. That's one of the biggest W's I've seen in a while.
Things have only got worse for him. All while he spent so much of his time taunting
Shout
and
out my dog
challenging the
man.
court system to do something about it, because Johnny streamed himself being interviewed after his stunt where he got drunk and danced in his underwear in the early morning of Seoul.
I did it as kind of like a f you to these YouTubers and the ones that are commenting on my downfall in Korea and how I'm gonna get, the years keep going up. First they said, oh, it's 5 years, now it's 10 years, now he's gonna get 20 years, now he's gonna get 30 years. So I was like, I'm gonna show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm gonna show you that the Korean government is not gonna do anything to me because I'm an American citizen, A, and B, I don't do anything seriously violent or crime. The Korean legal system.
Are you stupid? You're disrespecting like monuments. You're harassing people in public. You threw a fish at somebody. You were throwing food at people. You're destroying people's businesses. Oh yeah, you're finna get all that.
Is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be.
I don't know if that's like a smart thing to say while you're on trial. Obviously, we've taken a little break from covering Johnny, but now so much has happened that I feel like we kind of need to update the situation. Because now you have charges that are essentially just dropping monthly to his only friend now threatening another channel that's also been covering Johnny's phone. I mean, this whole story just keeps on derailing like an extremely slow train wreck, which started as him trying to go viral, which turned into real crimes. He's harassed people on buses, blasted offensive messages, disrespectful cultural symbols, and, you know, just kept pushing things further.
Like, look at this, bro. Look at this. Kick off his stream Australia.
No matter how many times he got in trouble, he threatened judges. He made deepfake videos of other Korean streamers, then announced that he was going to go to court in a black version of a certain robe that involves a clan. And I'm not talking about Call of Duty trick shot clans either. I feel like so much of the stuff he does leaves me with the reaction of, why are you wasting your life doing this? What a fascinating use of free will. But obviously he didn't follow through with this. All that did was just show the internet that Johnny is a little bit more scared of these consequences than what he's letting on. Even though he doesn't follow through with being a moron, that doesn't mean he's not a moron. Because now it seems like he's looking at 10 additional years of additional max sentence time on top of the previous 26 years of max sentence time that he was facing earlier. At the end of the day, Johnny's story is a perfect example of someone who let chasing clout completely ruin their lives and dragged others like Hank down with him. And Hank, clearly not the
Johnny's gonna be
shed,
like
is now threatening another creator
50-something by the time he's
been very
out.
on top of covering this whole story. Here's a clip of Legal Mindset showing those messages.
But you see this individual, Adrius, is talking to Hank, sends over a video of 15 minutes of shame and says, why is this guy keep pulling this up in his video? So he's talking about, a video where Hank is mentioned. Hank the Tank says, 15 minutes of shame is absolutely obsessed with me. And the guy responds, yeah, saw that. He says, LMAO needs to be, and I'm just going to use the word deleted because I want to keep it YouTube friendly.
So for those of you guys who don't know, That comment
crazy.
is coming from Johnny Somaly's so-called bodyguard or legal
Man,
advisor
Hank ain't no
or
goddamn
translator. He's playing a lot of roles here, but this is Hank. And what Hank said there isn't just disturbing, it's completely self-destructive. While South Korean law probably isn't going to prosecute Hank for the international threat against someone who's most likely based in the US, the fallout could be harsh on other ways. Hank has already lost his gym membership after the gym found out about his association with Johnny. And that's crazy because
that is
Hank
hilarious.
needs to stay in there. But honestly, I don't even know if that's a real punishment in Hank's head. But clearly, any online behavior
you don't even
like
get to
this
work
could
out
easily
here
lead to
because
further
you cool, buddy.
consequences. His desperation is
Fucked up.
clearly showing, as with every threat, he digs his hole deeper. And I feel like
Oh.
part of him actually knows this
Knock
because
his
he
stuff
recently
over.
also deleted all of his social media, which includes all content on his YouTube channel. And this channel used to be Johnny's only main outlet left to live stream on.
Bro, Hank has 400 some. You doing all this and your YouTube got like 480 subs. Excuse me, I was about to say 480,000. My motherfucking bad. He wishes he was at 480,000. What the fuck?
And now it's been wiped. And for those of you guys who don't know, for months, Hank was Johnny's enabler, providing him with housing, a phone, streaming equipment, booze, and money to keep this nuisance train rolling. Because while Johnny's funds dried up, Hank kept the operation alive, becoming his sole support system. But
Man,
now the weight of that
well, became
decision
his
is
daddy.
really crashing down on him. This isn't just about embarrassment or damage.
My bad, y'all had a little technical difficulty, but we got it back.
Anymore. Hank's closeness to Johnny's latest legal trouble has placed him in the crossfire. If you remember from my last video, I said charges are essentially dropping monthly on Johnny, and that's still true because there's now a new crime that Johnny's being investigated for in South Korea, and that is the child harassment under the Korean Child Welfare
I
Act.
thought
Specifically, authorities reopened investigations
This is about
into
the streamer?
interactions where Johnny and Hank allegedly engaged in inappropriate conversations with minors on sites like Ome TV. There's reported evidence.
I thought this was about where he was like he made the deep fake joint of the streamer girl, Korean streamer girl, where he was making like deep fake porn, like AI porn, excuse me, AI corn. He's taking like his life is a piece of paper, and he has a blowtorch, and he's just blowing fire all over his life. Bro, what is going on?
That both Johnny and Hank knowingly spoke with individuals they identified as minors during these streams, and the conversations were reportedly of an inappropriate nature. This is serious because
Johnny,
under South Korean law, this charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison.
Here is the submission right here against Ramzi Khalid
And
Ismail. You see his name here,
here's-
Ramji Khalid Ismail, right? In Korean. You can see over here, once again, another one of the cover sheets showing his date of birth as well as the location in Seoul. And you see both of these documents here together confirming they were
Johnny's
submitted.
born
Now,
in
before we go any
2000?
further, let's clear up something that always
Oh
pops
my
up in the
goodness.
comments. People say, isn't Johnny already in jail? What's the big deal here? Jail is short term. It's where you go before trial or if you've done something small. Think a few weeks, maybe up to a couple of years. That's about it. And that is if it even goes over a year, because normally if it does, it would be because, the time waiting for the trial and then, after the sentencing. But prison is where you end up after conviction. That's long term. That's the real deal. In South Korea, they don't like to hold people in jail pre-trial unless you're dangerous or violent. And he's not a violent offender. He's just an obnoxious clown with
He's
a
just
camera
an
and bad
idiot.
attitude.
Like-
So essentially they just let him roam, rack up more charges, and give the South Korean government
Didn't they take his like phone and equipment? So like they're letting him be out in the streets, but they took away all his means of making money. So he's just like super fucked up, like and down bad. That's why he was on like Hank shit. But I heard like even Hank stuff was getting taken. I don't know. This is a wild story. This is your life. Like, man, I don't get it.
all the more evidence they could ever need. Because meanwhile, he's burning through his money, isolating himself
I was
and
about
making
to
their
say,
job
like, he has no
extremely easy.
choice.
Just because Johnny hasn't been sitting in a cell this whole time doesn't mean the police are clueless over there. It is definitely not because the courts are soft, it's because South Korea's legal system is playing the long game. Locking him up pre-trial, that costs taxpayer money.
Yeah,
They'd
it
rather
costs
let
money
Johnny
for
just
that.
pay for his own ramen, his own water, his own booze, and
Come
his
on
own
now.
miserable existence. Or well, honestly, at this point, it's probably Hank that's paying for all that. And this is all while they build a rock-solid case against him. So they're letting him self-destruct on his own dime. And
Their
honestly,
case is perfect.
it's working like a charm.
I have
live streamed
sacrificed
everything.
my finances. You know, like I've actually, like Johnny ran out of money.
Hank is done. He's broke.
Duh, Hank. I don't know why you even did. Hank know him before, like Johnny even went to Korea. Like, what is Hank's affiliation with Johnny pre him being in Korea? You decided to be somebody's father for nothing. And now you're losing everything too.
The money's dried up. He's been begging for cash online, complaining about being kicked out of his gym, cut off by businesses, and rejected by companies who don't want to be anywhere near this disaster. And now he's scared. Scared that fallout is going to hit him. Scared that supporting Johnny has destroyed whatever reputation and stability he has left. All while prosecutors keep stacking charges. And Johnny, instead of, laying low, he's doubling down. He's made more deepfakes. He's threatened judges. He showed up late and drunk to court. I don't know how stupid you could possibly be, but this guy just keeps impressing me. If you tried to write a fictional character,
he's doing more of the crimes that he's on trial
that would actually
for?
be a challenge. And also, just to add on the self-destructive behavior, it's been confirmed that Johnny has been using fake accounts and posing as multiple people on different platforms, like Discord, to discredit creators who are covering him, yours truly included.
Johnny has fake accounts, has multiple people. Obviously, there's fake profiles of me, there's fake profiles of Atozi, other people. Now, some of you have seen this, and some of you have not seen this. But remember, what's important is that we have confirmed that every single thing has been received by the Seoul prosecutor's office.
And I guess these accounts are basically just trying to derail
they said that they trying to help him get Johnny locked up.
But clearly,
I don't blame
it's
him.
not
Legal
working.
Mindset
Legal Mindset confirmed that every single piece of footage has now been officially submitted and accepted by Seoul's prosecutor's office
they're gonna
as
help
evidence,
get him out of here,
including older clips from the U.S. And at this point, prosecutors in South Korea are moving forward. The case is at a step 2 in their process. The investigation is underway, evidence has been collected, and they're now determining if it's strong enough to hold up in court. That doesn't just include Johnny's offenses in South Korea, it also pulls from his documented behavior across the U.S. and Europe. Meanwhile, more disturbing footage has...
Wait, so they're gonna pull... Oh yeah, they've got like an infinite glitch if they're gonna pull from everything he did outside of Korea too. Sue's done a lot of dumb stuff. I don't know how you've done all that dumb stuff. You've done like multiple lifetimes of stupid stuff within the matter of a few years.
Resurfaced, including remarks made by both Johnny and Hank towards people in France, Mexico, and Korea. And in another major legal escalation, a victim has now filed a formal petition for severe punishment against Johnny, which could lead to an aggravated sentencing range if the court accepts it. Because according to Korean law, these petitions have to show a clear harm to the victim, attempts at reconciliation that didn't work, and a lack of remorse. Well, that's not hard to prove.
I was about to say, it's Johnny.
To this day, he is still insulting South Korean people. No statue is safe. So he clearly doesn't care and has no remorse.
Yeah, it's safe to say Johnny's own behavior continues to work against him. He, again, is his own star witness against himself. He is his own worst enemy. And if this petition goes through, Johnny could be looking at a minimum of 2 years for obstruction and up to 7 years for the deepfake charges. And of course, it doesn't stop there. There's been 4 previously
Wait, he could get up to 7 for all of the deepfake charges, or for each charge? Because according to them, he's done it at least. He said multiple. I would have to say he's done this. Knowing Johnny, he'd had to do this at least like 10 times. Is he gonna get 70 years like for each one?
Seen videos dropping showing him harassing workers and tourists at Seoul's North Town.
Is Johnny gonna spend the rest of his life in prison?
Viral for getting
that would
punched,
be insane.
and they show him blasting music, shouting about having HIV,
and then it's in a
and filming
Korean
without
prison.
permission. Then finally accusing tourists of racism when asked to leave.
I want to take a cable car now. What is what? What is what? It's a phone.
What is this?
Why not? I see many people do YouTube here. I can't do YouTube here. Many people do YouTube here. It's in my face. Relax. Relax, bitch.
Honestly, it's just crazy how he allows someone to donate $2 to have a chance of ruining his life. It's actually impressive how self-destructive he is, but he deserves everything coming his way because this is what he does.
I just don't get it,
bro. Why are you shaking your hand? You racist? You don't like black people?
No, I don't want to be.
What country are you from?
You don't need to care.
You better back up. What's up?
Oh.
You want to touch me?
Oh.
You want to touch me? You want to go?
Oh.
You're going to get...
You know what's crazy? Like, this dude could actually probably whoop Johnny's ass.
You better watch out. I'm from America. You better watch out.
I'm from America. See, he one thing I can give Johnny, even though he's completely out of his mind, he's not fully out of his mind. You know what I'm saying? He is doing this in these other countries. He would not dare do this in America. Because he know what time it is. He taking advantage of like a respect and appreciation that a lot of these other countries have. Man, you come in here playing with people, like doing all this, and people will send you on that escalator ride up to heaven, man. What are we talking about, bro?
Dude is just a pathetic excuse of a human being.
You will take that escalator ride, my boy.
Is winning in the end because Johnny is currently being wombo comboed by the Korean system.
Damn, I swear to God, Europeans, they hate Americans, bro. Oh, it's French. Oh, now it makes sense. Nobody likes French people, bro. I don't like them either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad at this point. And these could easily add to his obstruction charges or lead to a 9th charge under South Korea's child welfare or public disturbance laws. And on top of that, Johnny's platforms are disappearing left and right. I mentioned that he was banned on Kick in my last video, but it now seems like YouTube is removing his streams as well.
But there is one live stream that's missing, and that is the live stream where he just came back from court and he decided to go live with Hank. They reviewed the court video, they gave a couple updates, even though he lied about quite a bit. Anytime Hank is in a video, there will be hate speech. So that was the video that was taken down. Now you might ask yourself, how do I know that it was taken down for hate speech? If you go on his channel, it says the video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on hate speech.
Money is flying out the window faster and faster here. Literally. It looks like 10 years could get thrown at Johnny and even Hank here if the authorities find what they're looking for. And I mean, let's be real, we know there's enough of a digital footprint online to give them the stuff to find. It's pretty much inevitable at this point that he's
for being this man's homie.
Like, this is not ending with some slap on the wrist. Every time he opens his mouth, every time he makes another deep fake or threatens a judge or shows up to court late or drunk or wherever he decides to show up, he's really not helping himself at all. So just as a recap, because I know there's going to be so many charges at this point that it's hard to keep track of, Johnny is charged with obstruction of business. That's count 1. He pled guilty to that. You have a violation of Minor Crimes Act, which is essentially a misdemeanor. He pled guilty to that. And then you have another violation of Minor Crimes Act, which he pled guilty to that as well. You have an obstruction of business charge, which he pled guilty to as well. And then you have a deepfake violation. He pled not guilty to that. Then you have another deepfake violation, which he also pled not guilty. Then you have another obstruction of business charge, which he also pled not guilty to for some reason. And now we have the violation of the Child Welfare Act, as that investigation is currently in progress. So here we are. Things are not looking good for him. And Hank is a cautionary tale. He backed the wrong guy. Now he's broke, scared, and trying to figure out where to climb out of this wreckage, because this is just an absolute nightmare for this guy. And this is all while Johnny has another trial date coming up in August. So hey, if you guys want me to go out to South Korea again, drop a like on this video. If we get to the ballpark of like 75,000 likes on this video, I'll fly out again. And
Tozy, please go back out to South Korea, bro. Please, I want to see you back out there. I want to see you, legal mindset. All the people who went the first time, please go back again and sit there in front of this man's face while he faces all these charges again. That would be, oh man, that would be God's blessing to me. But man, if you stay to the end of the video, let me know any other vids you want. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tozy, man. Please go sub to his channel. He makes great content. Man, I ain't got nothing else, man. You too. Love y'all. Peace.